I was curious, Miki, what made you decide to enter the Duke competition?
This is the last frontier of surfing, you know. This is the last hope for it. These are where the waves are. Undoubtedly the greatest in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
When it comes to capturing the imagination of surfing fans the world over, the excitement and drama of big wave competition in Hawaii is a formula that has always worked. The world's best surfers, Hawaii's best big waves, the ultimate in competition. Held in the sport's ultimate proving ground, a formula so obvious that it's pretty easy to take for granted, and yet it all had to start somewhere.
The 1965 Duke contest, I don't even know what would be in second place, because that was so much the best contest that had ever taken place up to that point that everything else behind it, you know, it's a mile back.
By the mid-1960s, surfing competition in Hawaii was nothing new. The Makaha International Surfing Championships, the sport's de facto world title event, had been held annually since 1954. Yet the venerable Makaha contest was starting to show its age, which in its case was stuck in the 1950s. By 1965, the times were definitely a-changin'.
It was the first contest on the North Shore. It was a small starting field. I think it was maybe 24 surfers or something like that. And it was set up to be a one-day contest, which is a great idea. They checked boxes across the whole thing. It was a sort of a progressive big wave contest. We're going to go out at sunset in big surf, and the winners are going to be the guys that are surfing it at the latest 1965 style.
But it wasn't just the surfers or the waves or even the surfing that made the 65 Duke Kahanamoku Surfing Championships such a breakthrough event. In the mid-60s, you didn't get much surfing on TV. And when you did, it was Hollywood's version.
Vacation is here, beach party tonight.
Beach party. Well, you got to think back then, that was pre-YouTube, in 65 through 69, say. You might be lucky to see 4 surf shows in a year on TV. It was the networks. There were 3 networks in America. You watched ABC, NBC, or CBS. Fred Hemmings actually got together with MacGillvray, who was the business manager for Don Ho, and they dreamed up this idea of the Invitational.
MacGillvray contacted somebody at CBS, said, hey, you know, we're going to have this big surfing thing here. So they called me up to CBS and they said, well, you know, we like the idea of the surfing. And I think in the back of their minds, they're saying ABC had surfing, so, you know, we should have surfing.
Lindberg was already a rising talent in the field of televised mainstream sports like football, golf, and baseball. But when it came to surfing, he was starting from scratch. Luckily, Lindberg made his first call count, reaching out to the man who was about to become the world's most famous surf filmmaker.
So I did a survey, and I heard of Bruce Brown, and, you know, so I stopped in Dana Point where Bruce was and slept on his floor that night, and then we went to Hawaii. And I remember the thrill I got just going over the pineapple fields as you reach Haleiwa, and there was all these dark lines. Boy, what a sight that was. Still didn't know that much about surfing. I didn't realize that it wasn't that way every day.
Heeding Brown's advice, Lindberg added a team of innovative young surf-savvy cameramen to the more conventional network coverage protocol, an innovation that would have far-reaching influence on how surfing would be perceived.
Larry was able to present surfing like no one had ever seen before and create the dynamics of it as a sport. Larry had this vision of how to do it, and he did it. And he made America go, wow, these surfers on the North Shore, they're sportsmen.
This is Jeff Hakman, the youngest competitor in the Duke Kahanamoku Invitational. Jeff, how old are you?
I just turned 17.
You're up against some pretty big names in the surfing world. How do you think your chances are at Sunset Beach in this competition?
I think I have a pretty good chance because I know the spot pretty well.
It shot in December '65. It aired in, I don't know, January, February, or after we edited the film, and it aired in '66.
Of course, none of this would have mattered had not the surfing performances been spectacular.
Taking off, Jeff Hakman. Waiting a long time. There he goes. Watch this ride. Oh, too much.
They were judging on performance, so it was big wave and it was performance. And they got the right winner, and it was the right contest, and everybody knew it.
Was legitimate foundation of the competition, you know, with judges who are very well qualified, champions in themselves. They know what to really to look for and what's happening, which is very unusual.
That interview with Dora, to me, is almost all you need to know about the Duke, because, you know, that cynical prick himself couldn't find anything to say wrong about that contest. Like, that's how good it was.